Thank you for watching, everybody. I'm Steve Dial with Bruiser Bass Addiction Gear and Flat Out Tungstens. I'm here today with Ron and Jeff that have invited us out to fish. We fished for the last day and a half at Bienville Plantation. Those of you that don't know about Bienville Plantation, I've heard about it. I got to witness a fraction of it the last 2 days. It's phenomenal. The fishing is ridiculous. The scenery is unbelievable. At times I had to shake and pinch myself. I thought I was in another state.
Yes.
I literally thought I was in another state because of the contours, the banks, the way that
it's not a typical bowl Florida lake and stuff like that, and our property is just it's different.
Yeah, if your vision of a bowl-shaped lake that you want to come, a destination that you want to come experience and fish or hang out at, it is just a bowl. This is not a bowl. These are old phosphate pits that are, they have grown up to look very, very natural. So to get started, went fishing for a couple days, had a couple strokes on some big fish. It was 98 degrees in the shade, as they say.
Yeah.
It was hot. We got ran off by some rain, and we still had a great time. The graphs lit up. We just picked the toughest month to fish, but we still did well. So let me just start by doing some Q&A, asking you some questions, because you guys have a ton of knowledge on this place. Ron, we'll start with you. The age of this and kind of how it was formed, what do we have here that would make us sit down and talk about this awesome place?
Well, they started mining in the 70s for the phosphate, and I don't know exactly what year in the 70s, but they started mining, and then they sold some of the property to an investment guy out of Macon, Georgia. He bought it and built everything, started the cabins and stuff like that, and now it's owned by Robert Morey out of Sarasota, Florida, and we're doing management, we're building it bigger and better than it's ever been, hopefully. That's our plan. We've got 11,000 acres of property, a little over that, and then we've got about 10 different lakes that we use on a regular basis. We've got one that's, our biggest lake is 1,400 acres. It's just a maze of pits and stuff where they mine, and it's all connected in one area deal.
How long, me and Mike and I tried to guess how long it would take us to fish these lakes. It's infinite. Like we said we would pick it apart, we would spend a month straight on one lake just to dissect it.
Yeah, the amount of shoreline.
The
I
humps.
don't know that you dissect 14.
No, just one lake.
Oh yeah. No, 14 is the name of the lake he's talking about.
Oh, okay.
There's no way you dissect it.
Lake Bienville is the other name for it also.
Okay.
We call it 14. That's what it's been known as for years.
And they're unique because what we saw instantly was depth, undulations, shelf, and the amount of vegetation in here is insane.
That and our quality of bait fish. I guess the lakes are so rich when they mine the phosphate and stuff. I mean, it's used for mostly fertilizer. So the plankton grows really good, which feeds the bait fish, and then the bait fish feed the predator fish and the bass and all, and that's what makes them grow so good in here. So it's the nutrient content in the lakes is really good, and that's why the vegetation grows good also.
It's very well managed. You can tell there's no chicanery or spraying going on like we're faced with.
No,
it's clean.
We try to avoid that as much as possible.
Yes, it's pure, it's managed. And Jeff, you were telling me, we're here in August, but you were telling me for those who want to come here, March, April, May, February, those kind of months.
From December on.
So from
the cold months hit.
December to April is the prime time?
December to April is a fantastic opportunity to catch a giant here. Any time here is an opportunity. We had on double-digit fish yesterday, 98 degrees, 90-degree water temp.
Right.
But if you get in the winter months, it seems to be a little more consistent. Yeah, it really does. And there's a misclaimer or whatever you want to call it around the country. Hey, come to Florida and catch a 10-pounder. People fish for years and years and years and don't catch 10-pound fish.
Gotcha.
In Florida, honestly, Bienville Plantation is probably one of the best shots you have at it during those months.
Months.
It really, really is.
And if not, you're going to, there's a good chance you're going to catch a 5 to 8.
Oh, absolutely.
And then numbers too. So make no mistake, you have numbers too.
We have numbers. I had some people last week We fished a half-a-day trip. Ron had some other folks. We fished the same lake. I had 52 fish from 7 o'clock until 11 o'clock.
And you count, record, and...
We count, record, we have to document, and it's taken care of in our office and recorded.
Very well managed, just
Yeah.
to make sure that the guides, because you have full-blown guides that have been here for years, are doing their job, and the clients are happy.
Correct.
That's right.
So, Ron, take me to how does an average person, or, because you do corporate events, you do big things with massive companies that send their employees here. What is the process someone would go through, whether it's a private individual that's calling Bienville Plantation in northern Florida, or a company? How do they contact you to come enjoy and take all this in?
They can go to our website at bienville.com and get kind of a layout of how everything works. Also, our price list is on there. Then they can call and book a trip.
It's as easy as that.
It's that simple. Yeah, we've got somebody in the office that will book a trip, do a deposit on the trip, and we'll be here and ready when you get here.
What kind of lodging do you have? We're staying in the captain's quarters right now.
Right.
But what kind of lodging do you have?
We've got 5 cabins that have 5 rooms each, that have 2 beds in each room, and each room also has a individual bathroom. So there are 5 bedroom, 5 bathroom cabins that we have, and we have 5 of those.
And you also have a clubhouse style.
We have what we call our lodge,
where
we eat and all our meals are done. We also do meeting stuff in there. If groups want to come in and do a meeting, or do
entertaining
kind of thing.
And we have a full-time actual chef.
Yes, we've got a
5-star actual chef.
Full-time
Cordon
chef.
Bleu trained.
Oh my goodness.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to experience that, but I'm salivating thinking about it.
Her name is Rose,
She is awesome. Chef Rose is
phenomenal.
So you have Rose cooking steak. You got a full bar.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we're just hanging out here in the captain's lodge.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's amenities besides just, hey, there's a trophy fish, 30 yards that way.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
We do
Jeff.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
In the lodge.
Go in the lodge, play a game of pool, have your food, drinks, chill out in the afternoons, wait for your meal.
Yep.
Go to bed, get up the next morning, we'll put you in a modern bass boat with all the equipment in it and take you out for an incredible day of fishing.
That's what I was, okay, so that's what I was gonna ask you, Jeff. Take me through a morning of where you and your customers, tell me what they need to, what you need to bring, what you need to expect, and what you do.
Several things. If you're a bass fisherman and you have your own equipment, you are more than welcome to bring it.
Gotcha.
Your general things that you fish with, regardless of whether you're from Ohio or Florida, it really doesn't matter. We have a lake here, and I think it's one of our niches. We really do have a lake here that you saw. You were in a lake with
diversity.
No grass,
Yes.
40 foot of water, rock. Then
Yes.
we took you to a lake that's topped out in hydrilla and you
Yes.
could mow it.
It literally felt like I was in several states today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have lakes that will fit the way you want to fish.
Sure.
Now, if we happen to have a lake that's a little better right now, our jobs as guides, we'll tweak you a little bit, take you there, and make sure you catch fish. If you don't have equipment, if you're a novice, just want to come here and go, I really want to experience the out of doors, fishing, etc.
Right.
We actually do that a lot
Yeah,
here.
we do that quite a bit.
Our pro shop has your baits now starting in it. It's going to have luge. We have luge rods and reels, bait casters, spinning rods and reels. We have everything you need in our pro shop. Hooks, baits, worms, Bruiser baits, everything you need.
Awesome.
And it's not this is something I just want to say because I'm kind of proud of it. It's not a typical pro shop that you can buy a bait at the store for $6 and our pro shop is $20.
Yeah,
Doesn't work that way.
They're actually very well
Yes,
priced.
if you can buy it at the store for $6, you buy it from us for $6.
Awesome.
So it's
we
don't do that, yes, at all.
And the other thing, we don't have a vast selection of stuff in the pro
We
shop,
have
but
what works here at the plantation.
You know what works here. We actually tested things that we proved that'll work in August here, so we know they're going to work in the better months.
Listen, you bring a 10-inch lily pad here in February.
He's hooked on that worm.
Buddy, let me tell you, I caught some good fish on that worm.
The Bruiser curly, we made a Bruiser curly tail, 10-inch worm did well here, so awesome.
Yes, it will do well here in February, March. Oh,
Yeah, forget about it.
Forget about it.
So you, as a guide, you don't fish, and that's per kind of your job is to watch, teach, and take, and make sure your clients have a great time on the water, whether they want to throw a line out for a brim, or have a cold adult beverage, or try to catch a trophy.
That is correct.
That's your number one job.
We do not fish at all. We take you fishing.
Gotcha.
And I'm glad you said that. We will do brim trips, speckled perch or crappie, bass, catfish. It really doesn't matter. If you want to bring your wife and get in the middle of a lake and float around all afternoon and mix drinks and watch alligators, we do that. That's not a joke. That's happening.
We ride around and take a lot of pictures.
Yeah, ride around and take pictures. If you're birding people, if you're wildlife people, we have deer, hogs, bear, turkeys. It's here, man.
I got you.
This is paradise. It truly is.
It is. I was blown away on just how big it is. So it's not like they're driving to a destination, looking at one or two pits, and going home. They really can take it all in. So, I was blown away by the experience. I know me and my camera guy definitely wanted to. We don't want to leave. We want to go back out, but these guys have to drive home. I can't wait to come back when it's cooler, when we get our baits and everything in here. I can't wait to get back out there and experience it. As far as I'm concerned, these guys like cater to, like I felt spoiled out there on the water. So these guys know every nook and cranny of these pits. And it's amazing when they say, hey, there's a hump over here, there's fish on it, did you see that brush pile, throw over there. It is amazing. It blew us away. So, and Ron, you said you've been doing this for
22 years.
22 years.
Yeah.
And this whole time I thought he was 27. I mean, what the heck?
Yeah.
So you've been doing this a long time. So what is, just before we kind of break off, what's the biggest fish you've ever put for a guided trip that you've actually brought into the boat?
10 pounds, 9 ounces is what
10,
my
9.
guys call it, yes.
And what's the youngest angler that's ever caught a big fish on your?
I had a kid, I think he was like 10 or so, somewhere around there, and he caught one that was right around 8 pounds, and that was it was a blast to watch him catch that fish and just see his reaction to it.
Yeah, he went into freak out mode.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. When that fish went in the net, it was just great. It was
awesome.
It was a great experience.
And Jeff, what's the biggest one you've ever?
Biggest one here actually was pretty recent. I had a girl and her boyfriend here. What was that fish, Ron? 813, 814?
8 some change, almost 9.
Just came out of bay.
The one we were.
Yes, sir. Came out of bay. Sure did.
Lots of names. Every lake is named, and when you hear these guys talking about every name, it's like way beyond. Like we can't eat. I need a map. Because they start talking about lakes, and me and Mike are just going in circles. We don't know what's going on.
And even when you get in the lakes, you need a map.
You need a map
still.
You can't go by yourself. There is a reason. I got lost 7 times, but they were always close by. So
there was something that Ron did not mention. We also actually have, and Ron would have to tell you about it, we actually have memberships where you can join and come and fish anytime you like. You're a member of the plantation.
I did not know that.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that. Unfortunately, we needed to and definitely need to on the video.
Okay, so
we have a couple of lakes. One is our big lake, Lake Bienville, or what we refer to as 14. It's 1,400 acres again. But you can pay a yearly membership to that lake.
I got you.
And you can bring your own boat.
Okay.
And we've also got some memberships on Purvis, which is the lake right out in front of the lodge, and all it's 240 acres, I believe, somewhere around there. And we do memberships on that also. All the information on that is also on the website.
On the website.
All the bass, our largemouth bass on the property are catch and release, period.
Correct.
However, and then what happens is specks or crappie, brim, catfish and all, we have limits on them, but you can take them home and eat them.
Okay, gotcha.
As a member, the panfish are absolutely wide open.
Okay.
But the reason that we catch and release all of our fish here is a fish has to grow old to grow big. So if you catch a fish here, it goes back in the water, because you catch a 7-pounder, 10 years from now, your son comes back
Right.
and he catches a 12-pounder.
Gotcha.
And that's how that
And
happens.
our lake.
What's your lake record?
Our record for the plantation is 15 pounds, 15.68 pounds.
1568.
16 pounds.
Yeah, right. Just
Doesn't even sound right.
That's a good
the
one.
fish did not even. I mean, it was just a cool looking
And
fish.
I noticed a lot of the mounts you have replicas of here of fish that were caught out of these lakes.
Yes.
That's insane.
Yeah, we take measurements of any trophy fish and take plenty of pictures. That way, the guests can have a
Documentation.
replica made of it and
Yeah.
get it painted, similar to what it was, and all the measurements and everything of it too.
But we have clear water, dirty water, shallow water, deep water.
We've got.
I saw 32 feet,
Yep.
and then we saw fish busting today in like 3 that were just crushing bait fish. So very diverse, and you could tell that it's not been. I want to emphasize this: it's not been altered. These are very natural settings. Yes,
When they're
they may have been
reclaimed-
dredged, but the veggies have
Right.
came around.
When they reclaim the lakes after they mine them, when they push everything, all the big hills and the overburden piles, when they push that down, they try to make it back to the similar, as close to natural as they
Natural as
can. They
possible.
plant different trees, different vegetation.
You can tell.
Yeah, there's cypress trees
Yes.
that have been planted and just all kinds of stuff in these lakes to make it look as natural as it possibly,
Possibly
can.
can. It is. So, anyway, like I said, I was blown away by the scenery, by the fishing, even though it was hot, and we still had chances at big fish. Just you really don't want to leave this place.
You don't.
It's hard to leave because
It is.
it's like you
Even
don't want to
for us
see.
that are here all the time.
Right.
It's the same way.
You don't want to
it's the
see
same.
a highway, a stoplight. You don't want to see any of that.
Don't
You don't
hear
want
a
to
car.
see city. So this is a getaway retreat. It's beyond fishing. Trust me. I know we've been talking about fishing because we're fishermen, but it's beyond fishing.
Oh, it is.
If anybody has questions, I mean, they can call in, go on Bienville, get the telephone number,
Yes, sir.
make a phone call. There's no stupid question. There's no dumb
There
question
is not a dumb
Yeah,
question.
there's so much to
Feel
do
free
here.
to call us and ask.
There's so much
Absolutely.
property. It's
Yeah.
like, why not? Because I've asked several things, and you're like, yeah, we do that.
Yep.
So,
We have skeet shooting here.
Yeah, we
There's
have.
quite a few things you can do here.
so if you have private, if you want to do it yourself, if you want a membership, and if you have corporate parties, that's what they do.
That's
So-
One person to
Absolutely.
50 people.
And
We
it's
can
one to
not-
50.
all
not
the
a problem.
same. It's we treat everybody's going to get the same accommodation, same treatment
Sure.
as the corporate guys or individual that comes. We're
Yeah,
We're
and
gonna
we
do our
kind of
best to
set it
put
up,
them
and
in
Mr.
fish.
Morey kind of wants it set up to where when you come to Bienville, this may sound kind of cliche,
Right.
but when you come to Bienville, you're coming home.
Yeah.
We're gonna meet you in the morning. Hey man, how are you? Let's
Right.
go fish.
just like we've done.
Like
with
you've
you.
done
We're
with
Sure.
doing
you.
the
No,
same
no.
thing
It's
every
like,
day.
yeah, there's been no bad.
You come through that gate, and it's just like you go. You and I
You just
talked about
relax.
it. You just decompress. Something about the pines, something about just the environment.
The environment's
You just-
different.
you just-
Exactly.
I stay 12, 13 days and tell Ron, I'm wore out, I'm going home. I'm home 2 days calling saying, hey, y'all got anything I want? You know, you do. It's addicting. The plantation.
You even want to work here.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's the
absolutely.
greatest place in the world to work.
Well, decompress is a great word for it. There's lots to do. I can't wait to come back. Hopefully, you guys will have me back.
You're coming back, absolutely.
So we want to come back because their job is to put us on fish, and trust me, I can tell if they didn't do their job to put us on fish, they feel it because that's their job.
Oh, yeah.
So they want us to catch fish.
Right.
So, well, listen, Jeff, thank you very
Absolute
much.
pleasure.
Ron,
Thank you,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Bob.
awesome. Bienville.com.
Mike, thank you.
For our camera guy, Mike, thank you very much. Bienville.com. Go ask questions. Come to North Florida. This place is awesome.
And listen, Mike's the camera guy, but in closing, I think Mike might have outfished you this time.
Mike, maybe a few.
Come to Bienville. We'd love to have you.
We gotta edit that.
Come to Bienville. We would love to have you.
I definitely got outfished. I'm okay with it because I had a great time. Thank you very much.